Love Song by Rainer Maria Rilke. How can I keep my soul in me, so that it doesn't touch your soul? How can I raise it high enough, past you, to other things? I would like to shelter it, among remote, lost objects, in some dark and silent place that doesn't resonate when your depths resound. Yet everything that touches us, me and you, takes us together like a violin's bow, which draws one voice out of two separate strings. Upon what instrument are we to spanned? And what musician holds us in his hand? O sweetest song. Translated by Stephen Mitchell. René Carl Wilhelm Johann Joseph Maria Rilke, the 4th of December 1875, the 29th of December 1926, shortened to Rainer Maria Rilke, was an Austrian poet and novelist. He has been acclaimed as an idiosyncratic and expressive poet, and is widely recognized as a significant writer in the German language. His work has been seen by critics and scholars as having undertones of mysticism, exploring themes of subjective experience and disbelief. His writings include one novel, several collections of poetry and several volumes of correspondence. Rilke traveled extensively throughout Europe, and in his later years settled in Switzerland, becoming key to the genesis and inspiration for many of his poems. While Rilke is most known for his contributions to German literature, he additionally wrote in French. Among English-language readers, his best-known works include the poetry collections Duino Elegies Duiniser Elegien and Sonnets to Orpheus Die Sonnet and Orpheus, the semi-autobiographical novel The Notebooks of Malte Lorenz-Brigg Die Aufzeichnungen des Malte Lorenz-Brigg, and a collection of 10 letters that was published after his death under the title Letters to a Young Poet Brief an einen jungen Dichter. In the later 20th century, his work found new audiences through use by self-help authors and frequent quotations in television shows, books and motion pictures. There are two distinct parts to this poem. In the first part, the speaker-poet expresses his fear of falling in love. He is afraid of the closeness to the person he loves. To love is to be raw and vulnerable. To love is to take the risk of getting hurt or rejected. You expose your naked emotional self as you reopen wounds from the past. There is no love without loss. Love and pain go hand in hand. Love is not calm waters but the dizzying heights and crashing lows of waves in the ocean. And that is why he wants to shelter his soul, among remote lost objects, in some dark and silent place, far away from the beloved. The word, yet, expresses the futile attempt to resist the beloved and links the first part to the second. If you love, you wear your heart on your sleeve. He is irresistibly drawn to the love of his life. Falling in love is inevitable. He cannot hold his emotions in check even if he wants to. The second part describes the perfect union of souls. The two souls in love are part of an identical energy force. Their vibrational frequency is the same. They are no longer disparate and disembodied beings but have merged together and are completely in tune with each other. The concept of soulmates, which seems like a modern invention, in fact, harkens back to antiquity. In Plato's Symposium, the philosopher Aristophanes discusses the concept of mirror souls. Zeus, the king of gods, split androgynous human beings into two separate parts, male and female, and they spend their whole lives in pursuit of their other halves so that they could become whole again. Love is born into every human being. It calls back the halves of our original nature together. It tries to make one out of two and heal the wound of human nature. The two lovers are like two separate violin strings on a violin that vibrates with one sound. They come together to create music. Their oneness emanates from a deep love and understanding. The musical metaphor reminds me of a similar train of thought in Khalil Gibran's meditation on love and marriage in The Prophet. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone though they quiver with the same music. Two human beings in love can come together to create one whole relationship and still maintain their distinct individuality and not lose sight of their own unique purpose in life. There is a fatalistic tone to the poem as it alludes to a force greater than the two of them that brings them together in union. Maybe their love was written in the stars. Is the musician God and the instrument upon which they are spanned the universe or fate itself? Man and woman come together as one to have a common spiritual communion with God. Their love is transcendent as both entwined souls surrender themselves in exaltation into the hands of divinity. Soulmates are your spiritual catalysts too, and there is a sacredness to the union. In the first part of the poem, the pronouns I and you, ich and dich in German are used to convey the separateness. After the speaker utters, yet, you have the words, us, me and you, together, and, we two, uns, dich und mich, zusammen, and, wir, in German to emphasize the fusion of the souls. The poem begins and ends with questions. The frenzied questions about how to protect his heart from love are followed by the description of the bliss of union and more questions revealing the uncertitude about their destiny and culminating in the rapturous but resigned sigh that he lets out. O sweetest song. Source: https://lighterargentine.wordpress.com/2020/02/13/love-song/